This match review, to start off our match reviews for this evening, comes to us from Xavier_Melon. Because if there was no melon, it would not be, I don't know, fresh and good for you. There was a joke there, but it didn't land. But that's okay, because what's landing is your 2K hours, which is more than that 1K adept zone where I expect most people to know most of their macro and micro fundamentals in the game of Dead by Daylight. You are playing the Trickster, who, despite being potentially stronger than they were before, certainly are a puzzling design that's not too great and still is like a C-tier killer at best. Thankfully, I follow one of the best Trickster mains out there, Revium, so I have a lot of schooling on this character. You're on the meatpacking plant, though, which is a very egregiously survivor-sided map. I don't care what anybody says. But if you bring specifically an anti-pallet build and go here, it's like, I know. Okay, like, I wasn't born yesterday. I have like almost, I have 6.4K hours in this game now. Like, I understand. Thank you for the assist, though. But yes, most of these pallets are safe, and there's a very extremely high count of them. So yeah, it still mostly errs on the side of killer. Let's take a look at add-ons and tweaks. Okay, so you are using Bloody Boa and the Fistbin Soda, which I would not recommend either of these based on, at least on Revium's opinion, who has a forefront of knowledge on this character. Other options, Momentum Blades. Trick Blades is always fun, always a good time. There's the Tequila, I believe it's called, the yellow add-on from the main event stuff. And also, there's one more I'm forgetting. The shoes. The shoes are actually pretty underrated. I've seen a lot of Trickster mains kind of have dissenting opinions about the shoes, but between Rev and we both like shoes, so I will recommend shoes, which is movement speed while throwing. But those would be my alternative add-on suggestions. I know Revan particularly really hates the Bloody Boa, the extra ammo add-ons. So yeah. Your build is pretty well-rounded. I know there's I think it's Gorbo or someone. I know there's a Trickster main that's also very good that also like religiously uses BAM. And the reason you bring BAM on Trickster is because Trickster used to be able to play Shaq pretty well, but can't anymore. So you can shut down longer loops like that where you can't get that last laceration. Barbecue Lethal, very good setup. Helps you find people early on, helps you continue to find people throughout the match. Excellent combo. Pop is, this is pre-nerf Pop, but Pop, I would say, depending on the killer, it can still be helpful. If you're a killer that was great at delivering Pop, like Xeno or like Wraith, I feel like Pop's still great, but on characters that have not as much mobility, I would kind of like not stop running it, but be a little bit more cautious, realize that like I really got to get the most out of this. I will say though, just a little caveat, obviously it probably would not be uploaded if this was in here, but there is a visual bug with the Trickster right now that causes flashing lights, specifically for the survivor end of things. If they are getting lacerated by your knives, which will happen because you're the Trickster, sometimes that will bug out and start flashing the screen instead. You know those little notches you get on your screen that are supposed to like tell you how close you are to getting injured without having to look directly at your portrait? Yeah, those bug out sometimes and start flashing. So I would avoid playing the Trickster until that is on a patch somewhere, or that goes away. That way you're not accidentally introducing a seizure hazard into the game. So yeah. Oh, it's just a warning about playing this character right now. She did not believe it. You should have hit that. The way you look down, like, yeah, I also, you're also like, yeah, I should have hit that. You got her in a corner here, so that's pretty good. Meg with sprinters, too. What a fun. Remember, back up. If somebody's spinning in your face and you're on controller, just back up. That's how you avoid that. You don't have to like stand there and wait for them. Just back up. I like how you're doing what a lot of good tricksters recommend, is not bringing up your blades unless you plan to throw. This made us making some very puzzling decisions. Visual bug and photo sensitivity? Yep, unfortunately I do. Like I said, the little notches that are supposed to show you how close you are to being getting a laceration injury, those bug out sometimes and start flashing. It also like turns your screen pink sometimes too, in addition, which is really weird. Obviously the flashing part being the worst. So you don't see me there. That's why I know where to hide is go to or to be able to find this person. Never continue to play me if they fix it. Trickster's is such a rough spot because survivors don't like facing him and Trickster mains don't like playing him. Like they essentially like the Gorba made an excellent video about it that you can go watch that explains it better than I do. But essentially the TLDR is they switched Trickster from being kind of like a skill killer that still was aggressively anti-chase to like a run-down killer, like you run down the survivors. So he still retains the anti-chase aspects that made him frustrating to begin with, but now like Trickster players have less fun. So now he is simultaneously both unfun to play as and against at the same time. So it's just kind of like, I don't know. Fun fact, your center here, there's no recoil anymore. But the center of your camera with Trickster is actually different depending on which knife you throw. I don't know if anybody's ever noticed this. You probably do know this if you watch Trickster main streams. But like, it literally does depend on which knife you're throwing. Obviously, if you need to throw left, you're a little to left, right, etc. So keep that in mind, that does actually matter. In terms of aiming. I mean, you have 33 knives. I don't know why you're like slow throwing at her. The whole point, especially in the Trickster's rework version, the whole point of playing Trickster as opposed to like Deathslinger or Huntress is like those characters are about accuracy. Trickster, especially in his new form, is not so much about accuracy. You play Trickster because you want to be able to throw a bajillion knives and not be accurate. Like you still gotta be accurate enough to hit, right? But generally you're trying to cover a wider space just by chucking a bunch. So if you're just, I don't know why you're like slow, you're following this person slowly and just like chuck knife, very like measuredly. Okay, Wesker joke. The whole point of Trickster is the saturation of the knives, not so much, you know. Oh, she fucked up. You should have got her down there. Oh, that's unfortunate. It's the saturation of the knives. Not hitting everyone exactly. That's like, old Trickster was a lot more like that. She's gonna make a lot of distance off of that. Oh no, this door's closed, never mind. Good RNG, actually. I'm gonna say, if that door was open, you'd be in a world of hurt, but that door's closed, so she's actually stuck in here. It's kind of like a double whammy with this door, because like when the door shut like that, like it makes it really hard to pressure this gen, but also like you saw, like if they run in here to loop, there's just a dead zone. It's like a give and take. So the reason the reload like add-ons are not good was how Riv explained it to me, was that like since lacerations to actually like fully lacerate a survivor, it went up from like 6 to 8. Just the number counts of the add-ons are disproportionate, and you're just essentially going to be reloading basically the same amount, just because like on the basis of, yeah, you should absolutely tunnel her, just on the basis of the amount of knives it takes to you should have followed her around. Yeah, you absolutely should have followed around the pallet and finished the down. You kind of looked like you got really indecisive there, and like you're like, okay, I'm gonna break the pallet. Actually, she's still right in front of me, so I'm gonna throw the knives. You were not decisive there, and it cost you the entire down, especially when you need to. Make me sick now. This isn't a nurse game. Indecisive strike, yeah. I remember Xavier said they were like they were not proud of this game, which is fine. That's the ones you need to set in, but like I couldn't see like where like the indecision was a problem. Indecision is death. Now your Debbie King make across the entire map here. Ooh, that was a mistake on my part. Well, you don't have DS, so let's find a hook. Get her dead. Work on Jen right near you. Yeah, if you're so the reason you would want to do this, okay, once again, especially up close like that where it's like almost impossible, if you definitely need to just start like chucking your knives. Like you trying to be super precise about this, you're trying to play Destiny or Huntress, you're not trying to play Trickster. And the reason I was gonna say that you want to do this up front, like up close to them like this, instead of like just doing the M1, which would be way simpler, is so you can charge your main event and get the second quick down. That's why you want to do that. But if you're just like, you're so skittish about throwing knives that like, you're playing the wrong killer. If you want to be like super accurate, you should be playing Wrestling or Huntress. I love just fucking dropping down in the background. Yeah, please throw more knives. You literally brought the add-on to throw more knives too, which is crazy. 60 is waiting me. I'm ready for you to stop. But yeah, you did the right thing by coming around there. Excellent. You be the stinky? I do be stinky, but hopefully I'm like the right kind of stinky, not the you get away from me kind of stinky. But the endearing kind of stinky. Hi, Dredge. How are you? We usually get Dredge match reviews, but I don't think we got one today. There's like Trickster, Xenomorph. There's a Survivor match review in there. Doing Dredge things, but it's not even Thanksgiving yet. Why are we doing turkey things? I love Dredge mains. Okay, I'm still number 5. Cool. I love Dredge mains because they're like, I am the embodiment of horror. I'm inspired by the boogeyman. And homie looks like a Thanksgiving turkey. Thankfully, the good thing about the way you're playing right now is that Trickster is 115 now, since this update. So like, you are at least 115. If you were like trying to play this carefully about it, he's right behind you. I don't know why you didn't go after. I guess you're trying to get this person out. Yeah, you're on the person that's injured. That makes sense. I withdraw my statement. Okay, then you get off him. I mean, this is fine. If you can get her down quickly and hook her good, then you can control both the Jen and her. Stop! You're making me sick! Don't do that. Don't do that. I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad. That I get motion sick very, very easily. That's why I can't play nurse. Please don't do that. I get it if you're frustrated, it's a thing, but like... Ugh. I'm laughing, I'm scary! I think we found out all we need to know about Dredge and how cute they are when they have a nurse skin. You're literally like... trying to be like one of the most endearing NPCs in this game. Okay, so as you're finding out, if you hit somebody and immediately go to main event, especially like an indoor map like this, they have a speed burst when they get injured. That is a thing. And by not waiting that out, you just let her get to safety and essentially get to ignore most of your main event, which you kind of can't afford to do because new Trickster is very much kind of like built to use your main event about every single chase. So you don't want to give them distance first. The moment you left, we got a raid. I had to mod by myself. It was scary. Kidding. I didn't even remember what the shout out command was. It's been ages. I'm kidding, obviously. I have a terrible headache. Well, you're in the right place. Don't worry. For your headache, you get 1 free night game voucher that you can redeem at any local Mr. Headache franchise. It does not expire, but it's only good for 1 use. You do run the risk here. You know what's funny is Trickster is one of the best campers in the game, so I'm not sure I would go with the option here to chase somebody in the end game. I would just chill at hook. Trickster's one of the better campers in the game. And what's gonna happen in this background while you're trying to get this Mig down is that they're gonna go get on the door. And when they get on the door, you will eventually get the injury on this Mig, but then by the time the door's ready, they're gonna get out. Oh. I'm gonna go 2 days without water so I can get a killer voucher. Please not this. Not this. Why did you stop your main event? How much more of that did you have? Yeah, you had about half of it left. Why'd you waste it? What? This is literally that one. It's like, you know the one. I'm not gonna bring it up because I don't want that talk starting. But that you know the one. Never play him, you can. I think it's handy in situations where you know you're not gonna get the down, you know? There's no reason to save the palace on her end. She just... game's over, you know? Usually reload after hooking, but in this case I can understand why. Because they could just like run up and then hook right behind you while you go for the reload. Other slasher characters from Horde? Hey, ooh. You did. Who's on that? Yeah, I don't know why, despite being one of the best campers in the game, you just like repeatedly like. Just get out of B2. Yeah, her built-in B2. Yep, they're released. No DS in new game, so you can just pick up. Hi. What you want, brother? Sorry. Actually, I think his carrying is suboptimal. Really, Will? Didn't even think about that one. Wow. Yeah. Right. Right? She almost wiggled your right, Will. I didn't even think about that. That's crazy. What an insightful cat. Once again, why do you just keep believing the hook so much? Like, even if you weren't one of the top campers in the game, you should absolutely be trying to, yeah, do this. You should be securing your kill. At least forcing trades. Honestly, this is the best you can do. Because at this point, you charge main event, you down her. If Meg passed badly, you just come down her. Well, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop that. We need to create a swear jar for you, except that every time you end main event early, you put a coin in. That has cost you tons of pressure, more than once. Win it! Win it! Win it! Maybe that's only decent campus scenarios? Not only. It is good in those scenarios, but to say only is a gross understatement. I want you to catch a survivor out the open wave main event charge and tell me it's not good. You do end up getting the 3K, but very, very barely. And here's why, in terms of your main takeaways. Your first main takeaway is this killer is a projectile killer, but their whole deal is rapid fire. Their whole thing is instead of being accurate to every single shot, they fire a bunch in rapid succession. So you should absolutely be doing that. And you were not playing that way. You were kind of going specifically for like very, very accurate shots, and it extended a lot of your chases by a lot. And as we say, match time is gen time. Wow. Wow. Your second main takeaway is you had a lot of indecision in this match. Indecision is death. Okay, maybe it's not that serious, but there was a lot of times where you're like, maybe I want to M1. Maybe I want a knife. Maybe I want a knife, but maybe I want to go slow. Maybe I want to kick this pallet. Maybe I don't want to. Even if you commit to a decision and it's not the best decision, you did something, right? Like, obviously, like the one I'm talking about the most specifically, is when Meg was at one knife further from laceration, and that when she was injured, so that'd be a down, and you decided to go kick the pallet, decided, oh no, I don't want to kick the pallet, throw a knife at her, you missed, and you're like, okay, well, I guess I'm kicking this pallet now. The right option was obviously go around the pallet, or the extra knife, get her down, call it a day. But even if you made the wrong decision and kicked the pallet, that's at least a pallet out of the way, right? So that's a resource you don't have to worry about later. But the fact that you did nothing in that scenario was like the most suboptimal thing, right? We can talk about which choice would have been better, and there definitely is a better answer of like what the better choice is, but doing nothing at all is never the answer. And then the third takeaway is that Trickster is one of the better campers in the game. So the fact that you were kind of like almost outright refusing to camp in the endgame when you are a character that's extremely adept with as that role, it was really puzzling. Very, very puzzling. So you definitely should have been camping your kill at the endgame there. But that's it.